Dear students, in this video we are going to study the four topics, that is kill API, alarm API, internal timer and POSIX.1 timers. So let us study the kill API. So a process can send a signal, kill signal. A process can send the kill signal to a related process via the kill API. So this signal can be sent via the kill API. So this is a simple means of inter-process communication or control. The function prototype of API is the prototype of kill API is integer kill PID underscore T PID comma integer signal underscore num hash include signal dot h. So this is the prototype for the kill API, and it sends the signal to a related process in order to do the inter-process communication. So it returns 0 on success and it returns -1 on failure. Here the signal num argument is the integer value of signal to be sent. It is an integer value of the signal to be sent, and whom it will be sent? It will be sent to the process whose PID value is mentioned here. Which PID value is mentioned here. So the possible values of PID and its use by the kill API are the possible values of PID and its use by the kill API are the possible value of PID are. So if PID greater than 0, then signal is sent to the process whose process ID is PID. If suppose here PID mentioned is greater than 0, like 2, 3, 4, 5, then this kill signal will be sent to the process whose PID value is PID. Next, if the PID equal to 0, the signal is sent to all processes whose process group ID equals to process group ID of the sender. So if this PID, if here 0 is mentioned, then it will this signal will be sent to all the processes whose group ID is equal to the group ID of the sender process. Next, if PID is less than 0, the signal is sent to all processes whose process group ID equals the absolute value of the PID. If this PID is negative value, if here this is negative value, it will send to all the processes whose group ID is equal to absolute value of the PID of the sender. And if PID equal to 1, the signal is sent to all processes on the system for which the sender has permission to send the signal. So if this value is 1, then this process can send the signal to all the processes for whom sender has the permission. Next, alarm. The alarm API can be called by a process to request the kernel to send the SIG alarm signal after a certain number of real clock seconds. So this signal is sent after a certain number of real clock seconds gets over. Its a prototype is unsigned integer alarm, unsigned integer time interval. So it returns 0 or number of seconds until previously set alarm. So it returns 0 on success. So actually it is alarm this value will be set for a particular time, and at that particular instant of time this signal will be sent to the process. Next one is interval timer. The interval timer can be used to schedule a process to do some task at a fixed time interval, to time the execution of some operation, or to limit the time allowed for the execution of some task. It does the following things. It is a timer interval. It can be used to schedule processes to do some task at a fixed interval of time. So suppose some process need to do some work at some fixed time. So in that case, interval timer can be used, and it can be also used to time the execution of some operation. How much time some operation is taking place, and it is also used to limit the time allowed for the execution of some task. It is also used to limit the time allowed for the execution of some task. In addition to alarm API, Unix also invented the set I timer API, which can be used to define up the three different types of timers in the process. So that set I timer API is also defined, and it is used and it has defined the three different types of timers. So real time clock timer, timer based on the user time spent by the process, and timer based on the total user and system times spent by a process. Get I timer API is also defined for users to query the timer values that are set by the set I timer API. Next one, last topic which we are going to study is PO6.1b timers. So PO6.1b timer, it defines a set of API for interval timer manipulation. Suppose you want to manipulate the interval timer, then we can use the PO6.1b timers. The PO6.1b timers are more flexible and powerful than are the Unix timers in the following way. So PO6.1b is more flexible and powerful. So users in the following way. Users may define multiple independent timers for system clock. That is the first advantage. Second advantage, the timer's resolution is in nanoseconds. Third advantage, users may specify the signal to be raised when a timer expires. And fourth is, the timer interval may be specified as either an absolute or relative timer. So these are the advantage of the PO6.1b timers. So in this video, we'll wind up the class till here only. Thank you very much. Mm. Wait.